Hey, 8th grade Latin 2, how you doing? I've got a tutorial for you on the About the Language, which is basically just the participle review. It's called More About the Participles, but I have a special guest star helping me help you remember participles. Are you ready? His name is Gelato, but we call him Jelly. So here's Jelly, and Jelly is going to help us, right? I know, yeah. Jelly's going to help us learn about participles, okay? So here we go. Jelly, say participles. All right, here we go. Okay, participles, guys. So this is more about participles here. And all this is saying is basically that you remember pants, right? So these are present active participles, and they have the NT here, or maybe just even NS, like you can see in this exercise A, sedens, right? This means sitting, and we know that it's nominative and singular, NS, describing something that's nominative singular, because that's the NS, but any other ending on it is going to have NT, pant, with something else on it, right? So in trontem, entering. So remember, all pants all just translate with ing, right? Let me pick another maybe. Here, let's do blue. I like blue. Okay. So the next part of this, remember, is we have the what I call, remember, the PPP, right? This is the fourth principal part of a verb, and remember that laudo, laudare, laudavi, laudatus, and remember that it means having been praised. So let me do this, having been praised. So every fourth principal part means having been blanked. So here, having been praised. Here in exercise C, datam, right, from do, dare, dedi, datus. So having been given. This is in parentheses here, remember, because you could just say praised, as long as you understand you're talking about the participle. This is hugely different than saying the craftsman praised the architect, right? Or the architect praised the craftsman. That praised is just the good old past tense, perfect tense, right? We are talking about a perfect passive participle, an adjective basically that comes from a verb. So the craftsman praised by the architect, or having been praised by the architect. They were working hard. All right, last stage, you guys learned about the perfect active participle. Now, I wonder if you remember, how did we learn these guys? We learned these as replicas, right? These were regressus, agressus, precatus, and progressus, locutus, ingressus, conspicatus, or just conatus, adeptus, and secutus. And we learn these basically just as vocabulary items, and they are important to remember because they look like perfect passive participles. When you look at them, when you look at ingressa or you look at regressus, they look really similar to the fourth principal part of a verb. They look like they probably should mean having been blanked, but they don't, right? These special ones, replicas, they mean having blanked. That's why they're called perfect active participles. So you knew them, or you know them, just because you memorized them. And so here, B, regressus. We remember that regressus is the R in replicas, right? So, oh, that doesn't help. We know that this means having returned, not having been returned, but having returned. Just like ingressa, we know means having entered, not like the house having been entered. Okay, so that's your, again, just a really basic run over of overview of your participles, and you're going to get some practice on those in this stage.